Welcome to Midday. We have Corporal Jody Shelkey joining us from Kamloops RCMP. Thanks for being here, Jody.
Thank you.
We just want to start the segment by, we're going to talk a little Christmas safety here in a few minutes, but we wanted to start this segment by asking you a little bit about the new impaired driving laws that have just gone into effect. I know they kick in today. What's the biggest change, would you say? What do people really need to know about this?
The change, I guess, that's maybe causing, or that's first and foremost in people's minds is that now with the new impaired driving laws in the criminal code, is a police officer who pulls somebody over for whatever reason now has the right to ask them to do an approved screening device to check to see if they're impaired.
Okay.
Before, police had to have reasonable grounds to believe the person was impaired based on driving evidence or how they were acting, or if they could smell or see alcohol in the vehicle. Now, whenever we do a road stop or pull somebody over, we can ask them to supply their breath to determine if they're impaired or not.
Okay, so that's sort of a new power now that RCMP will have. What about when someone, you know, might get pulled over and might be asked to take a breathalyzer or something like that, and not, you know, they don't have any sort of, you know, they're innocent, if you will, or they don't, you know, they haven't had any alcohol, or they haven't had any substances or anything like that. What do you think the best response for them is?
To do the approved screening device.
Yeah.
Don't
refuse it.
No, don't refuse it, because there's a charge with that under the criminal code with that, and a penalty.
Right.
So just do the approved screening device. The ASD is what we call it. There's no criminal code or no criminal action associated with it if you pass it. It's, you know, you just do it and it proves that you're not impaired.
Right.
So this is really, it's, you know, it's causing a lot of news, but it's really not that different than how we've always conducted ourselves. We pull people over all the time on suspicion of impaired driving. Now it just is one more tool to help us keep the road safe. Many countries already have this legislation, and it's they've had it for many years, and they have lower impaired fatalities than Canada does. So, like, again, it's just another tool for police officers to help us keep the road safe. And for people who are pulled over, just, if you're not impaired, that's great, and you're asked to do the approved screening device, just do it. There's no criminal charge associated to it, and there's no criminal record that you had to take a screening device or anything like that. So
simple enough. And if you're innocent, you're innocent, right?
Yes.
And timely with the holiday season.
It is, yes.
Great, thanks, Jody. Well, let's talk a little bit about thieves and the holiday season. I know this is always one that we chat about. We only have about a minute left, but those parcels coming to your front door from Amazon and whatever websites or whatever places might be, I mean, your advice to people.
Well, there's only a few days left before Christmas, so this is probably due for people who are sending packages back and getting returns back. But if you're having parcels delivered and you get your mail at home, or it's coming by FedEx or UPS or whoever, if you're not going to be home, give them information that if you're not going to be home, that they should take it back to their office with them and not leave it on your doorstep, because this is the time of year thieves are just walking down the streets looking for those parcels there. Or if you know you're not going to be home, like you work every day 8 to 5, have it delivered to your neighbor's house who is a stay-at-home person.
Yes.
And they can accept the parcel for you. So you're just asking for your parcel to be stolen if it's delivered to your doorstep and it's sitting there out on your doorstep. So that's our best advice.
Good advice. I like that. Or get them delivered to your work or wherever, right? Yeah. I just did that today. That's why I mentioned that. A package came for me today, but here, not at my house.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Jody. Really appreciate that. We're back after a break. Stay with us on Midday.